What's going on, everyone? Alliance Orc here, and welcome back to another video. For those who do not know, the current month of the year is November, and there is one thing that happens every November, and that thing is World of Warcraft's anniversary. For those who do not know, every year during World of Warcraft's anniversary, we get a reputation and a EXP buff that has the percentage that maxes the anniversary's number. In English terms, it's the 21st anniversary. The rep buff is going to be 21%, as will the EXP buff. And now, in this video, as you probably saw by the title, we're going to be looking at the 10 reputations you should absolutely be farming during this anniversary, because the anniversary will last until December 7th, which isn't a lot of time, so that's like 3 weeks, so make the most of it while you can. But yeah, that's going to be a preface of our video. However, there are a few rules we need to discuss first. First and foremost, we will not be including the insane title in this video. While the insane title is a very, very difficult title to get, it is also one of the most well-known ones, but there are other ones that are a lot more difficult. So with that being said, let's hop into the video. Make sure you guys get your reputation up with this channel by hitting that subscribe button, and our first entry will be the Dark Fuse Solutions. So for those who do not know, this reputation grind becomes available after you defeat Chrome King Gallywix in the Liberation of Undermine. And once you open up this rep faction, you will be able to earn items called Market Research from basically every form of activity throughout the Undermine. Now, you need about 8,400 market researches to go from neutral to exalted unbuffed. And during the rep grind, you will get rewards like, oh, I am so sorry, that is terrible. This black trench coat that looks a lot better than what you are seeing right now. I am so sorry. Jesus Christ, that's bad. You will get this beautiful trench coat, as well as at Revered, you will get the Dark Fuse Demolisher mount, a very beautiful mount. Though it cannot fly, it is still an amazing grab. And if you're truly insane, once you get exalted, you can go for the Paragon mount, the Bronze Goblin Wave Shredder mount. This mount comes from the Paragon cache that comes after exalted, and you will need about 1,500 market researches to get the Wave Shredder unbuffed. So what that means is when you get to the Trove, it's literally just a chance. Just a chance for this to show up. You could end up putting more rep into the Wave Shredder than you ever did going from neutral to exalted. So 100% Dark Fuse Solutions is 100% worth farming to exalted with that anniversary buff. Plus, you also get a title as well. Let me pull it up for you guys real quick. The Dark Fuse Diplomat title. So yeah, plenty of reasons to get exalted with these guys. Mainly because it's a really horrendously bad grind. The next reputation we are going to be talking about that you should totally be getting exalted with is the Avowed reputation. For those who do not know, the Avowed is a reputation that you unlock after completing a quest line in Revendreth. And I do believe you have to be Venthyr as well to do the quest line. But you do have to be Venthyr to buy the products, not to use them though. Anywho, that out of the way. When I did my grind for the Avowed, And as you can even see, it's literally the that EXP bar under my action bars. That's literally the Avowed bar, because that's the last grind I did on this character. With a full 40-man coordinated group, it took me going from Revered to Exalted probably about 2 to 3 hours, using no buffs. This rep grind is incredibly tedious. Even with perfect coordination, it's very slow. If you do not get Exalted with these guys, you're 100% throwing for no reason. And they have some very amazing rewards as well, including the Ebony Crypt Keeper's Mantle, which is a cool back piece. The Inquisition Gargon Mount. Again, you have to be Venthyr to learn this, not to use it, depending on if you got Renown 80 or not. You also have the Archivist Quill Pet, as well as the Vulgarity Arbiter and the Rapid Recitation Quill as well. So there's plenty of amazing rewards to be gotten from these guys. And like I said, even in perfect coordination, the grind is slow, the grind is tedious. But before we jump to our next candidate, I would like to show you guys real quick what these two toys do, in case you are interested. So, this is the Recitation Quill. As you can see here, essentially it spawns a little scroll and a animated quill to write for you. The Vulgarity Arbiter spawns this little thing here, and essentially it's kind of like a swear jar, so to say, which I still have the buff from the first time I used it. You get this 1 hour buff that says Vulgarity Penance. Let it be known that character name is atoning for saying a vulgar word. That's all it does, and it does cost actual currency like gold, silver, copper to be able to use this toy. As you see right here, it says 25 silver or 1 gold. You know what, just for you guys, I said I'm atoning for 1 gold's worth of swearing. Let it be known I am a good boy. And good boys move on to our very next topic, being... Alright, and our next entry on this list is kind of like I want to say like a 12-way tie, but there's a reason for it, and that is the guests of the Ember Court and the Ember Court itself. So for those who do not know, with the Venthyr Covenant, you can open up the Ember Court. Doing so will give you access to numerous different guests that you can invite to the Ember Court. Some being like Chufa, Stonehead, Alexandros Mograine, Baroness Vosh, etc., etc. You got people you can invite. As a matter of fact, there's actually a whole achievement for it. Let me pull it up real quick. Covenant Sanctums, Party Herald, let's see. Okay, so you have Mechanicos, Mograine, Adrestes, Chufa, Droman, which is the blue bear from Ardenweld, Kia and Pelagos, Psycha, Stonehead, Plague Deviser, Vol, Crypt Keeper Kassir, Rindle and Cudgel, Hunt Captain, Corin, the Countess, Lady Moonberry. You know, these are all the people that you have to rep grind with for the Ember Court, as well as the Ember Court itself. Doing this rep grind primarily with the Countess, because the Countess is the one with the rewards, will give you the Countess's Parasol, which is this cute little umbrella you can use and show off. It also acts as a slow fall as well as, let me just pull it up for you guys, the Desires Battle Gargon. This mount is a reward from getting Exalted with the Countess. I've done a whole video on it already, as well as how to make sure you get it first try. So feel free to check that video out as well if you want to. But that is just from the Countess. As far as I know, everyone else does not really have rewards, but the Ember Court does. And you're not the right person to be talking to. I thought oh wait, it's in here. My bad, guys. So, I'm sure you're probably wondering, what do you get from getting exalted with the Ember Court? And that is the green transmog sets from your Covenant for each respective texture user. So for leather users, you will get this set. For plate users, you will get this set. And like I said, you have to be exalted to get the entire set. So, and a little icing on the cake, you gotta do it 4 times for all 4 transmog sets if you're that sweaty about it. So I'll just go ahead and show all 4 of them while we're here. That one actually looks kind of fire, not gonna lie. But yeah, you have to get ranked up 4 times on 4 different characters to get all 4 transmog sets. And then you also have this from getting exalted with the Ember Court, as well as this little battle pet as well. These are basically required for other achievements. But yeah, there's plenty to be gained from the Ember Court. And let's not forget, the grand prize of them all is the Ember Court is also required for this mount right here. So yeah, like I said, Ember Court, tons of reps to get up and plenty of rewards to be had. You just gotta put in the work and take advantage of this 21% rep buff. Anywho, moving on to our next candidate. Coming up next, we have Death's Advance. So I'm sure you guys are probably confused on why I included them. And it's for a numerous amount of reasons. One, they have numerous rewards, including transmog sets with all of the covenants, a tabard, the amber shard hide that you get at Revered, a domestic Anunion, which, do not ask me to pronounce that right. I don't think I can. As well as a mount that is tied to a achievement as well, which I think is called On the Offensive. But there's just so many rewards to get with these guys that honestly, you'd be kind of dumb not to get exalted with them. Also, fun fact, you can farm for rep with them and for vengeance at the exact same time, as every single boss in Sanctum of Domination, when you kill them the first time for the week, will give you rep with Death's Advance. And with Death's Advance rep being Warbound, you can basically spam farm vengeance as well as rep for the Paragon boxes, both in one fell swoop, which will give you the Barrel Shard Hide mount from the Paragon box, which is this guy right here, as well as the Fierce Razor Wing as well. These, excuse me, these mounts are very rare, and honestly, I feel like not a lot of people realize how easily you can farm them. Also, here's the Amber Shard Hide if you guys wanted to see it. Big old chunky feller. But while we're in the mall, I just want to kind of jump down here and hit our next candidate on our video, and that is the Consortium, or the Archivist Consortium, or Archivist Codex. God, I can't speak. I can't English. This rep is boosted to Exalted primarily through the random and knickknacks that you find in Korthia. So you find a whole bunch of them, bring it over to this guy, and he will raise your rep. So what makes this rep worth farming is the repaired rift keys primarily, as the repaired rift keys are going to give you access to several other rewards throughout the mall and Korthia. Like, I could go on a long tangent spree of what it will give you, but I think the best way of summing it up is this mount right here. If you want to get the Hand of Nilgan Hemat, you will have to get your rep up high enough with the Archivist in order to be able to get the items for this mount. Also, they have a tamed Mauler mount from their Paragon box as well, which is only been used 3 times in mount models, 2 of which are in Korthia itself. The 3rd of which was just recently added in Koresh. So, like I said, 100% worth getting exalted with, because like I said, there's tons of other rewards I can list off that these guys give you that you get throughout other means, but I'll be here all day if I do that. Anywho, moving on to our next candidate, and one I don't think a lot of people will see coming, but still one worth bringing up nonetheless. All right, and our next rep grind is going to be the Honeyback Hive rep. I forgot the name for a second, but this rep became active in BFA and is an Alliance only rep faction that rewards you with this beautiful B mount when you get exalted with them. And the key to getting exalted is by using honestly, the Beholder's goggles help out tremendously, but you're essentially just farming jelly that comes in many different varieties, such as rich jelly, thin jelly, and the prized royal jelly. So, with these jellies, you can buy and sell them on the auction house. As you can see, none of them are buy on pickup. But that's the easy way to get exalted. If you've got like tons of gold and nothing to spend it on, just buy the jelly, get exalted, done in a day. Easy. But getting exalted with the Honeyback Hive will give you that mount that's Alliance only, and honestly, really isn't too much else beyond that, as you have 2 vendors. But I remember there was a pet or something. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this rep faction I feel definitely has like a pet tied to something. I just can't remember what. But yeah, essentially the crown jewel here is the Honeyback Harvester, which, like I said, Alliance only mount, which I feel like they should change honestly, but yeah. Moving on, and next up on our list we have the Rustbolt Resistance. I decided to include these guys not really too much for sake of difficulty, but more of how far out of the way they are and how little there is tied to like dailies and everything. Like, I feel like with the Rustbolt Resistance, there's just not a lot to do to get exalted with them, and they do have some pretty good rewards for getting your rep up with them, including a musty fur snooter, the Rustbolt banner, which I'll show in a second, the Rustbolt Resistor, which is a very expensive gold sync mount, the Blingtron 7000 toy, which summons a Blingtron, that actually matches my mug pretty well, the Rustbolt Resistance tabard, and let me just showcase the toys real quick so you guys can see what you're working towards. As you can see, that's the banner right there. Actually a pretty cool toy, as well as the Blingtron, which will give you a quest that can actually have like one of 3 different mounts in it. I didn't get any of them, but it's okay. But yeah, these are the 2 toy rewards that you can get from getting exalted with the Rustbolt Resistance. The grind, it can take a little bit. It's just this place is really more tedious than anything. Anyone who's done Mechadon for the Yanni mount, or even when this was current, you guys know how tedious this place is. Plus, there's tons of rewards to be gathered from rares here. It's just the drop rate's really low. Also, you have the Pascal King over here who has tons of unique things you can craft. Such as, but not limited to, let me find it. The spray bots that you can use to paint people, a Microbot XD pet. Like I said, there's tons of cool things you can get from Mechagon, from the rares, and from the rep grind. It's just, it takes a while. That's all. And next up we have a two-way tie with the Waveblade and Cohen and the Unshackled. So these two reps, while they are faction specific, the rewards for them are borderline evergreen with one or two limitations. But getting rep out in Nashitar, much like Rustbolt, is very slow and very tedious. But they do have some fantastic rewards, including the Tabard, which is a very purple tabard, could be used for some purple transmogs. The Brilliant Glimmer Shell Battle Pet. The Prismatic Soft Shell Battle Pet, which snails are actually pretty good for achievement hunting, just saying. And then you have the Pearlescent Glimmer Shell. The Ancoan Wave Ray, which can be used on Horde characters. The Symbol of Grawl Toy. Wait a minute. Isn't... I'll look at that later, but that might, this might be its own video right here, if it's what I think it is. Well, I think I might be looking too far into that. But the Symbol of Grawl Toy, and just so you guys can see, the Horde mount, the Unshackled Wave Ray, though I am Alliance, is usable, as is the Alliance version mount right here for Horde. So you get rewarded for doing this on both sides essentially. But like I said, the grind for this rep is very slow, and there's not really a way to speed it up either, meaning you just gotta take it day by day with the world quests you have up and any other one-time special events that you can do as well. And coming in at our penultimate spot in this video, we have Emperor Shaohao. This rep grind is probably one of the slowest rep grinds you can have in Mist of Pandaria, and putting it bluntly, if you did not play Remix and you weren't playing Pandaria, you're going to have a miserable time with this rep grind, as the only real way to get rep with him, aside from like a daily or two, is to kill Yongol that are on the island. The Yongol, however, are, at least the good ones, are locked behind the legendary cape from Pandaria. But getting exalted with him will give you the Harmonious Porcupet, the Celestial's Defender Medallion toy, which I will showcase in a second, the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent, which I am on right now, and that price tag was correct. It does cost 1 million timeless coins. So even if you're already exalted with him from buying the Time Warp badges or whatever from the Time Walking vendor, expect to still spend a lot of time out here farming for the currency for this, because the Time Lost coins only come from the Timeless Isle, meaning even if you're already exalted, you're still going to do all that farming anyways. And let's see, just cover my bases. You have nothing. So the Defender's toy, let's showcase that real quick. So this toy will basically transform you into a Pandaren, and this toy does work even when you're in combat with something. So you can just go around and fight stuff as a defender of the Emperor, so to say. But essentially the best place to farm rep with this faction is that Burning Temple right there, which, like I said, if you didn't play Pandaria Remix and you didn't get the Legendary Cape when this was current, you physically cannot enter that temple. So yeah, just keep that in mind, meaning you only really have what's off in the distance over here, and that's not a lot. It's really not a lot. So to anyone who's rep grinding it like that, my heart goes out to you. Cool Zooin buff. But anywho, our final entrant in this video is... And our last entrant in this video is going to be the Consortium buff, rep faction in Dragonflight. So for those who do not know, this rep faction is required for the Typhon mount. And essentially, all you do for this rep grind is just go out and kill mobs in the area. That's the entirety of the rep grind. No dailies, no weeklies, just you throwing your head against endless mobs in the area until you get exalted. But they do have a lot of cool Cobalt themed rewards as well. So it's not like all the rewards are bad. A lot of these transmog actually looks really good and would work very well with like a Azure Drakthir type character. Like I said, a lot of great mog from this. Don't know why they have that. Drakthirs can't be demon hunters. Or can they? I believe they also have some schematics as well for dragon customization, but I've already bought those. But yeah, those... Oh, wait. You're a quartermaster. What do you have? Or are you just the same thing? Yeah, you're basically the same thing. But yeah, that's basically the 10 rep factions that you want to grind up for WoW's 21st anniversary. That is not the insane title. I hope you guys get everything you want done with this 21% buff, because it is an absolute ton of value that you do not want to waste. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.